Hi everyone, I'm Rachel.
And I'm Lindsay.
Welcome to the Off-Campus Housing webinar. Today is October 1st. Before we get started, I would like to go over a few items so you know what to expect from today's webinar. This webinar will provide you information on how to access DU's off-campus housing website, a timeline of when to begin thinking about moving off campus, along with different area resources. A few things to note about the Denver housing market is that we are currently in a housing situation where prices have increased drastically and property availability has decreased over the past 7 years. It is the job of DU's off-campus housing office to properly educate students on what to expect when searching for housing.
So a couple of things that we've been doing to kind of help students with looking for off-campus housing would be our off-campus housing fair. So for the past 2 years, our office has worked to set up an off-campus housing fair for students. Typically, we invite different companies near the campus and around Denver to come and share information about their apartments or their off-campus housing and facilities and things like that. And this is an awesome opportunity to talk to different companies in the area to make price comparisons, along with other considerations such as preferred amenities. So laundry, exercise facilities, swimming pools, things like that. Another option that students have would be personal consultations with Rachel, who is our off-campus housing fellow. So students at DU can meet with her for a one-on-one consultation. During this consultation, you can go over budgeting, needs versus wants in terms of housing, along with exploring different housing options in and around the Denver area. And then the last thing would be our off-campus housing platform, which is offcampus.du.edu, which is where students can go to search properties that are available to be rented, and also create a roommate profile to search for other students who may also be looking for someone to room with.
When deciding to live off campus, there are a few housing tips and tricks you can keep in mind. When you decide to look for housing off campus, one of the best ways to explore is by walking around the neighborhood that you want to live in. This will give you the best feel for what the neighborhood is like. Keep a list of the properties you find that are for rent and then give them a call. The farther away you live from campus, the easier it may become to find a less expensive housing situation. Students at DU are given a college RTD pass, which will allow you to utilize public transportation and get you to different parts of Denver. The light rail lines are E, F, and H that connect to the University of Denver station. Once you find a place that you may be interested in, it is a good idea to call and make an appointment to submit an application. One thing to understand is that other people may be looking at the same unit and places can go extremely fast. Be prepared to submit an application along with an application fee. Some places also run background checks that also come with a fee, and also deposits for a unit. It is a good idea to prepare to sign up for some of these costs ahead of time.
And then just some information for those of you who are thinking about studying abroad. We just wanted to provide some information about housing after study abroad as well. So first and foremost, I think our biggest tip is just to start thinking ahead. Think about where you would like to live, first of all. It's a good idea just to have a few plans in mind ahead of time, just so that when the time comes, you know where to begin your search. You're not kind of scrambling, you're not lost, and you're as prepared as possible as you can be. Another thing is, if you are thinking of living on campus after studying abroad, just keeping in mind that campus housing is going to be limited upon your return. Our suggestion is to be open to living off campus. It'll probably help you save more money living a few blocks away from campus, and you could potentially be signing a shorter term lease. If you do live off campus, though, one thing to keep in mind is that you are not eligible for a residence hall grant. So if you are receiving that now living on campus and you don't get on campus housing when you come back, that won't be applied to your student account. Another thing would just be to know that, it's not guaranteed for on-campus housing when you come back from study abroad, since we have such limited space availability. However, if you are offered a space on campus, study abroad students are not encouraged to expect specific roommates, since most of our shared spaces, which are either single units in a single space or a single unit in a double space, will be available. So the more open you are and the more flexible you are, the better chances you have of finding on-campus housing.
If you have any questions we didn't get to today or think of new questions, please contact myself or Lindsay at our addresses shown on the screen. Thank you everyone for your time. We look forward to working with you.
Thanks.